Hey guys, I'm gonna have to talk quiet for this one. You may need to turn your sound up because it is only 5:54 in the morning here, so hopefully I'm talking loud enough for the microphone to pick me up talking at all. But yeah, everyone else in the house is still asleep. I, on the other hand, have been up since 4 something because God only knows why I wake up at ridiculous hours, but yeah, I've got some serious bedhead going on here, but we're just gonna ignore that. Anyways, so, um, yeah, I'm armed with my big ass cup of coffee, and yeah. So, what I initially wanted to make this one to talk about, I'll talk about other stuff too later on in it, but the original thing that I wanted to get to last night, but then we had people come over, so I didn't get a chance to make it. Why the hell is the Robin Roberts thing so huge in the news right now? I mean, this is a woman who has not only battled but survived cancer. She was brave enough to broadcast her entire cancer journey on national television. She's been part of a lot of people's daily lives on TV for many years. She does humanitarian work, and you're going to zero in on the fact that she just happens to be gay. Who the fuck cares? Honestly, it's only a big deal because people keep making it out to be a big deal. The longer that people keep coming out and it keeps being headline news, the longer that it's going to be viewed as a big deal. Examples like this are perfect examples of what I'm talking about here. Because if people see this particular topic is a headline newsworthy thing, they view it as, oh, scandalous, blah 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 blah, and view it as a big deal. Now, I'm not saying people should be closeted, they shouldn't, but at the same time, this is just one small facet of a person's life. I mean, sure, I'm sure she doesn't want her partner or partners to have to be dirty little secrets anymore, and I don't blame her for that. But at the same time, the fact that the news has turned it into this huge, ginormous thing personally pisses me off because this is adding to the whole stigma. This is what I'm talking about, and this is the sort of thing just, sure, maybe on like a talk show or something, give it a little nod or something on like one of the celebrity ones, but headline news for days, that just, this is what's continuing to perpetuate making it a big deal. And, I mean, maybe we'll eventually get to a point where it isn't anymore. But I'm trying to put this into terms that make sense in my own head. It's early, forgive me, but you wouldn't go on the news and have a headline saying, Bill Cosby is black. Well, no shit, he's black. Who cares? I mean, see, right now you get a knee-jerk reaction of, yeah, and now think about this 50 years ago. That probably would have been enough to, like, cause a riot because there was so much inequality still back then for racial purposes. Sexuality is the new racial issues thing, in my opinion, because it seems to be the one minority that's still okay to hate on, and legally seems to be protected for people to do that, and it pisses me off. I mean, yeah, there's harassment laws in place, sure, but it doesn't stop the fact that there's still stigma there that shouldn't be there. And while I'm sure a lot of people argue there's still racism, yes, there is, but there's also a hell of a lot more people who will just plain not tolerate that anymore, whereas it used to be the standard where everybody viewed it that way as, oh, ew, I couldn't be seen on the same bus with this person, sit at the back, that sort of thing. I mean, sure, it's not as severe as sit at the back of the bus for like a gay person, but there's still hate crimes, there's still all sorts of stuff that goes on every single day, and this is one of many things that perpetuates there being a stigma of, oh, this person is different from everybody else, they are not normal because they happen to like the same gender. I have so many feels about this, I just cannot even, but I just hope maybe someday, I know it's not going to happen overnight, as nice as that would be, that eventually maybe there will be some sort of equality to where people don't really care. It'll be acknowledged and it won't be a big deal. Is that really so much to ask for? I don't think it is, but apparently a lot of other people do. But I don't know. I'm going off on a ramble here, aren't I? And it's only 6 in the morning. Anyway, also, there's another topic. There was a comment left on my last blog that was so sweet. I actually cried because it was so touching, and it also brings up another kind of really cool topic that I wanted to talk about that I'm sure that a lot of people that have ever so much as used the internet for more than 5 minutes can relate to. Let me bring it back up. Okay, it's also from the same person who requested my views on sexuality video. It says, "Dearest Jen, as I've been enjoying your web presence for so long now, your face and voice had almost become like a friend. It was something I was curious about, and I am so glad I asked now, although I felt a little embarrassed just randomly asking you like that the other day. I watched this vlog nervously, and minute after minute, a larger smile crept across my face. You are an articulate, open-minded, fair individual, and I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your acceptance and your message of love is love. As a gay man, I would only ever consider adoption if I were in a financial situation and steady relationship that allowed me to do that. And I think that says it all, really, in regards to the amount of people raising children without any thought for the environment they're bringing a child up in. We've come a long way, LGBT rights, and that's in no small part to lovely, bright people like you, Jen. Thank you again, you are awesome." Aww. Now, see, the part that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I think is really cool is how I'm pretty sure all of us have at least one, sometimes a lot of ones, but at least one person that they've either watched online or read material from online or befriended online that they may not have ever personally met in person. They may not have even necessarily interacted with before, but because they follow their web presence online, they feel like they know them and they feel like a distant friend or something. I have been on the internet since 1994, before it was really the common thing to do. It wasn't even that common to have it in your house, much less to be as hooked on it as I was already at that age. But, yeah, I still remember the day of dial-up, and you get X number of hours for the month, and then I would go and use them up in, like, a week. But, yeah, that was not so cool. This is kind of why I have my own phone line, because everybody got so pissed off at me hogging the main phone line from being online all the time. My dad eventually got me my own phone line, so they wouldn't have to kick me off the computer all the time, and so they can actually use the damn phone. Now we don't live in the dial-up age anymore, but I still have the line as my personal line, and yeah. But anyway, where I was going with that, is that it's really cool that we live in a modern age where we can meet people in such a way. I mean, this is not a new thing. Pretty much as long as there's been an internet, this has been a thing, but it seems to be becoming more and more common a thing now. I mean, I've experienced this phenomena so many times over at this point, and I always get tripped out whenever one of the people that I personally follow or look up to or whatnot so much as acknowledges me even in the tiniest way. I'm like practically fangirling over here. One classic case of this was when I was about, I want to say maybe 12. There is a website I went to that happened to have fan fiction about the Beatles and the Who and the Monkees and all sorts of stuff like that on it. And I read every single word of every single story on there, read every single section of her website, everything, her blogs, everything that she ever put online. And one day I finally got up the guts to leave a comment on something, and she replied to it, and I about fainted because, in my mind, I built her up to practically be a celebrity as far as I was concerned. Oh my gosh, and I was over the freaking moon. I didn't know anything personal about this person. I didn't know that she was about my age, only a couple years older. I mean, I had for some reason thought she was an adult, but then finding out she was almost my age, I was like, oh my gosh, can we be friends? To this day, we're still friends too. Yeah, it's just really cool how many people you can find like that. And now that there's sites like YouTube, I mean, now there's video outlets for stuff like this too, and now it really becomes feeling like you know somebody and like they're a distant friend, even if you've never met or if you've never interacted. Although, I'm all for interaction, I'm all for comments and stuff, so don't be afraid to. If you guys are too shy, seriously, don't be. I don't bite. Seriously, I love it when you guys comment, so feel free. Just no drama. There was a little bit of that from people in my last one. Don't do that. But other than that, yeah, leave comments. I like comments. But I just think it's really cool, and I'd love to hear some of you guys' experiences with stuff like that, just because it trips me out that we live in a modern age where that's even a possibility to be a thing. Even though I know this is not like a new phenomenon. This has been at least 20 years coming for me that it's been happening, but for some people, most people I know haven't used the internet that long, but again, I guess I was an early adopter, but I still remember the first website I ever made an account on too. It's insane, but I'm still using variations of that same screen name to this day too, so so there's that. What else did I want to talk about? It's early, my brain's not totally working yet. I'm considering making another blog. Not YouTube, don't worry, I'm staying right here for YouTube. But, yeah, as if I didn't have enough already. I mean, not counting Tumblr. I don't count Tumblr as blogging, I'm sorry, that's microblogging. That's, like, throwing a picture at the internet and going, here's a post. I mean, that's called microblogging. That's not real blogging. I suppose if you really worked at it, you could use the Tumblr as a real blog, but by and large, it's not a real blogging site, just so you guys know. It's fun, but it's not the real thing, so. No, I'm talking real blogs that involve effort and lots of writing going into them. And as if I didn't have enough time sucks in my life, and as if I didn't have enough blogs already. I mean, of the real variety, not counting Tumblr blogs, because those don't count as blogs in my eyes, I think I have at least 10. Whether or not I actually update them with any regularity is another story, but, yeah, that's what I'm like, this probably isn't even the smartest idea to even talk about starting another one, but, yeah, that. Apparently I get a wild hair at my ass, I'm like, hey, let's just do this thing, because I can. It doesn't have to be logical, let's just do this thing because I can. Yeah, that. So I'm considering making another one, just because I read a book recently. It's not a book review blog, I've already got one of those. No, but I read this book by Rachel Herron, who coincidentally lives about 20 minutes away from me, I found out. And it was about a blogger who loves to write and loves to knit and basically sounds like an older version of myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so obvious, why have I not made a craft blog yet? I should totally do that. So now I'm like, I can stop annoying the rest of you guys with my craft shit if I just go and make a craft blog. Yeah, that, except I'll probably still annoy the crap out of all of you with it anyway, because I'm an attention whore, so there's that. But at least I'll have a place where I can, like, write more extensively about it and not feel judged, because anytime I go on Facebook about this, I get blank stares from people, or like ... or just, yeah, so what, or just random shit like that. Like, seriously, some people have enough tact not to do it in the comments, they'll, like, at least private message it. But, yeah. I mean, given the unpopularity of all my other blogs, you would think that I'd be like, yeah, that's not even worth my time. But we all know me, we all know I'm gonna do it anyway. It's just like YouTube, I'm not exactly YouTube famous by any means, I don't have that many views on anything, but yet I still do it. Just cause it amuses me, makes me happy to do these, so I do them. Just like my other blogs, it makes me happy to write them, so I keep doing them. Even if freaking nobody ever reads it, makes me happy to write it. So I have fun with them, so I make them. I'm just still on the fence of, do I really want to start another one that's gonna hog up even more of my time, given that time is at a premium right now, and I am like getting pulled in a zillion different directions by different things. I probably shouldn't, but I'll probably end up doing it anyhow. Because clearly I have no life, but we knew that. And as if that wouldn't be enough of a time suck, I'm also over here on the fence about, should I get Sims 3? I know that Sims 4 is like this close to coming out, but I've seen the preview videos for that and I really don't like the animation style of the new one. It looks like they're trying to almost be anime but without actually being anime. You know what I'm saying there? I don't know. But like the facial expressions, the creepy on 4, I don't like that. I mean, if somebody hacks it or if they like change it before it releases to not look creepy, maybe I'll play it then, but unless they do that, yeah, I think I'd rather stick with 3, because I had 1 and 2, I love 2, but I haven't played it in forever because I lost the discs, oops, but yeah, and then I never got around to 3, because when 3 came out, I had the shit-tastic laptop from hell that couldn't frigging handle barely running at all, much less running a game on it. It would have killed it for sure. I mean, it could barely turn on without battling with it. It had stuck keys on that thing that I'd have to go just to get it to start up without thinking that a key was being continually held. It was all bad. I'm so glad that I don't use that one anymore. But then the one I replaced that computer with, it was a good computer for most intents and purposes, but gaming it was not so good with, because it didn't have enough RAM, it didn't have enough power to run them, really. I mean, it could just barely squeak by, but you would have major lag on them, and that just kind of pisses me off, because my dad used to run a computer business, and I'm used to having souped up freaking computers that are maxed out on the specs, that run like a top, and when they don't, it ticks me off. And the last couple computers haven't been that powerful because I kind of had to buy them myself. Yeah, apparently I got old enough to where he won't replace them anymore. Wah, tear, first world problems. But, yeah, so I could only afford to get shit-tastic ones. I had a little more money to play with this time when I replaced the last one. And while it's not a powerhouse, it's got more power than the last one did. I mean, at least it has 8 gigs of RAM. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. I can run Second Life again at least, so I'm taking that as a good sign that I might be able to run Sims 3. Because if it can run Second Life and not have huge lag, then I'm taking that as a good sign, because my last laptop got to where it couldn't even freaking open Second Life without crashing the whole damn machine to a blue screen of death. Yeah. Granted, I have nobody to play Second Life with anymore, so I don't. I just, like, installed it just to see if it would work, and just ran through, like, a random world on there just to see if it'd work or not, and it does, so uninstalled it. That's that. But I miss my little Sim people. I mean, I've got Sims... no, not Sims Tapped Out. I'm thinking Simpsons Tapped Out. Sims Free Play. I've got that on my iPod. But it's not the same. I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose, but it's not the same thing as The Sims. Like, I like being able to customize everything, and I'm one of those people that has much more fun building the houses and designing every little detail in them than actually playing with the little Sims lives. That probably says bad things about the sort of person I am, but, or it says I should be, like, an architect, but I don't have the math grades for it, so whatever. Yeah, but every Sims game since ever, I have this nasty habit of turning the neighborhoods into, like, Celebrityville, basically. I've got, like, a Beatles house that's modeled to look like the house they all lived in Help. I've got a house with the Who in it. I've got a house with the monkeys in it that I've tried painstakingly to recreate the pad, but Yeah, since there's some continuity issues in that show as to how the pad is laid out, that's kind of me doing a lot of guesswork and artistic freedom just to make it all line up. I kind of have it, but not really. And on Sims 2, there's only so much you could do. Sims 3, there's a lot more customization options. And I only know this because my brother had it for a while, although he kind of pirated it. But, yeah, he had it for a little while when he got his last computer. Or, no, not the last one before that. As if you guys care. But, he had it on there. He played with it for like a week. He let me play with it. He was like, hey, I have a job for you. How about you recreate our house on there? So I did. I spent like 3 days non-stop working on it. Like, I told you, I go hardcore with every little freaking detail. Down to light bulbs and shit. Yeah, I do not fuck around when I do it. So I did that. No sooner did I have it finished, he decided, yeah, I don't think I want this taking up all this room on my computer. I'm gonna uninstall it. Really? You had me work on that for 3 days nonstop just so you could uninstall it. You suck. But, that pissed me off so much. I'm pretty sure he had planned that out from before he ever asked me to design that on there, and this was like an epic punking as far as he's concerned. Love my brother, but hate my brother at the same time sometimes. But yeah, that. But while I did get to play with it that little bit, although I never got to play with it with people in it, I just got to do design mode, I had a lot of fun with it, and was amazed at just how much more you could do even with just the base game itself than I could with Sims 2, and I'm like, I want it, I want to play with it, I want it, but I didn't have a computer that could run it. I just replaced my last computer about, let's see, it's December now? I want to say about maybe 3 months ago? 2 months ago. October. Okay. It was around the time my grandpa had his stroke, so that would have to be October. So, it's only like a 2-month-old computer. It's still, like, brand new. It is a baby as far as I'm concerned. It's still new. Yeah, and it's pretty badass, so I'm like, if any computer of mine could run it, it'd probably be this one. And if this one can't, then that'll just clinch my decision to freaking invest in a damn desktop for the first time in about 10 years. Because I've been talking about doing it, and then I'm like, yeah, I could, but I'm not sure what the point would be, because anything I could do on there, I could do on here, but then I wouldn't have the mobility. Yeah, I'm a whiny little bitch, I know. But it'd be nice for, like, the really resource heavy stuff. Like, especially if I ever got into video editing, that'd probably be good to have a desktop that I could soup up really, really high for not a lot of money, because for what I put into this laptop, I could have a desktop that would kick some serious ass. Oh my gosh. Like, my brother has, like, basically a dream gaming computer that, sure, you would have to assemble it yourself and get the pieces individually, but the model he has, like, drawn up for what it would entail cost less than my current laptop did. My current laptop was about $700, so. And for someone who's unemployed, that's a lot of money. That was, like, my entire summer income saved up right there, pretty much. So, yeah, that was just from crafting, like, a mad woman and selling a lot. So, yeah, that. For a desktop, because not that many people seem to want them anymore, you can get them for a lot cheaper. But again, I like the portability thing, because if I only had a desktop, you'd basically never get me out of my bedroom ever for any reason ever, because I don't go anywhere without my computer. So, yeah, I'm one of those people that kind of needs both a laptop and a desktop, and if I can only have one, it needs to be a laptop, because otherwise, yeah, you won't get me out of my room ever. This was evidenced by the last time I had a desktop computer. I had only had desktop computers up to that point. And I basically never left my bedroom when I had desktop computers, because I was like, what's the point? The internet's right here. Why the hell would I leave my room? And yeah, basically 1994 through about 2005, I never left my bedroom. So there's that. Not proud, but it's true. And that's my life, so. since having laptops, it's kind of a much more liberating experience for me as far as I'm concerned, because I'm that internet addicted and I don't care, so... And I'm not the only one anymore. At this point, it seems like the world at large is. So now I just fit in with the grand populace. It's not even a weird thing anymore, whereas back in the 90s, oh my god, people were like, should we send her to a shrink? I'm pretty sure she has an internet addiction. Now, I seem to be less addicted to it than most of the people in my family, which is kind of funny. I don't even own a smartphone. You cannot hold a conversation with them for 30 seconds without them being on their phone. I at least have the courtesy, if there's like a family function, to leave my laptop up in my room and not touch the internet until everybody goes home. Unless I am specifically asked to bring it down and like show people like a video or something. But other than that, yeah, I have common courtesy. It's pretty much common sense, but they do not, and I've already touched on this point in another video, so I'm not going to rehash it all, but yeah, at this point I found out that most of the world seems to be way more internet addicted than I am. Who thought we'd ever see the day, right? I thought it was impossible for anybody to be more hooked to it than I am, but apparently there are. I'm the freak that sleeps with my laptop on my bed, turned on 24/7, but probably shouldn't tell you that, now somebody's gonna like hack it, but yeah, maybe I should start turning it off at night now that I told you guys that, but I think I will. But yeah, either way, yeah. I kind of have hang-ups from the days of desktop computers that are residual, that have carried over into the laptop days, of when my dad would like sneak into my room either while I was at school or asleep and take my modem out of my computer so I couldn't go online for X amount of time. Yeah, at this point I'm like, yeah, you're not touching my laptops, I'm just gonna sleep on top of it so you can't touch it. I don't know. Yeah, he gave up doing that many, many, many years ago. I don't know why I still do it, but it's like I said, it's residual hungover from that. Again, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. Somehow I got here from talking about Sims 3, which, yeah, should I get it? Shouldn't I get it? I don't know. I think I kind of really want it, but I don't know which expansion packs are worth it and which ones aren't, because it seems like there's a buttload of them, but they cost a lot of money, and I can't afford to get all of them, and I don't have enough room on my computer for all of them, so I'd rather be selective about it. I don't want to waste money buying them, not like it, and be out that much money, because you never get as much money reselling them as you did for getting them in the first place. And especially with Sims 3, I think they did something with the activation codes to where you can't resell them, so now I'm really hung up on I want to get it right first try. If I'm going to buy them, then I want to like them. Everybody said the Generations one sucks, but I'm like, personally, I think it sounds awesome, but that's just me. Other than that, though, I really don't know. I mean, like, I've been watching on YouTube different people's reviews of the expansion packs, and unfortunately I'm getting very biased opinions because of that. Because a lot of people are saying, like, this one sucks unless you buy all the stuff for it, even if you buy all the stuff for it, it's still not worth the money you put into it, and da-da-da-da-da. And then I'll have another person tell me, no, it's so much fun! I'm like, I don't know who to listen to. So, the more people that could give me their opinions on the Sims 3 expansion packs and their feelings towards any of them that they've played, any and all of them, good or bad, I would like to know your opinions on them personally. I would like as educated a view as this as possible. Because Sims 2, I got the University pack, I got Nightlife, and I got one more. And I can't remember which one it was anymore. It's been too many years since I played it. I keep wanting to say Nightlife, but I'm like, I already said that one. No, it was another one. And I'm pretty sure I don't remember because I never got around to playing the other one, but I never got around to installing it at all because that computer that I'd had Sims 2 installed on first, the screen burnt out on. And the computer it got replaced with was the shit-tastic laptop from hell that had everything wrong with it that could be wrong with the computer, so I was never able to play Sims 2 again after that. which really sucks because I miss it. But yeah, it's like I could just go back and just buy up some of the old Sims 2 ones, but I'd really like all the stuff you can do on Sims 3, so I don't know. I'm torn. Knowing me, I'll just be like, yeah, that's a lot of money, I'm not doing any of it, and that'll be the end of that, so. I know, I have a birthday in like a week. I just asked for it, but I'm already asking for like a Nintendo DS, or 2DS. Yeah, don't laugh at me, I don't care, but I still have my Nintendo DS Lite. I still play it, so I don't care how old school it is. I don't care that a lot of people view Nintendo as not real gaming. You want to label me that? Fine, I'm a casual gamer. There you go. Although, I don't know how casual it is when I have like freaking marathon sessions where I will play for like 48 hours straight, no sleep. That's not exactly casual in my book, but yeah, I never said I was normal. I do this with Nintendo Wii as well, which I am not upgrading to the Wii U, just in case anybody was wondering, because I think it looks stupid. Then again, I also thought the Wii was stupid for the longest time until I finally bought one and then decided, oh my god, I'm in love with this thing. So I don't know, maybe someday I'll get one, but as of right now, I'm really torn about that whole huge clunky controller with the screen on it, plus the screen on the TV. I don't know, it seems unnecessary. And I'm still happy with the games for the original Wii, so unless they start releasing Paper Mario for Wii U, I probably won't get one. If they do, then I'll probably get one entirely for that game. Sadly, that is the main reason I want the 2DS, is because all the other Paper Mario games were like the bigger console ones, releases for it. Like the original Paper Mario was on N64. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door was out on GameCube. The third Paper Mario, shoot, what was it called? Honestly, I never got around to playing the third one because I wanted to beat Thousand Year Door and I still haven't done it yet. Yes, I still have a GameCube hooked up. If my room wasn't so messy, I would turn around my computer right now and show you guys how I've got my GameCube hooked up right next to my Wii on top of my TV. I am not even joking right now, I still play it a lot. There is still a hell of a lot of good GameCube games out there, don't discredit it just because it's old. Yeah, I wanted to beat that first, and then I couldn't do it. And I mean, I've like watched through gameplay videos on YouTube, and personally, maybe I should be thankful that I haven't beaten it because the last boss on there is fucking terrifying. Princess Peach is like friggin' possessed. I'm like, okay, I'm not okay with this, I'm not okay with this. Like, I had a massive frigging panic attack just watching it. I am not even joking, you guys, right now. Then again, I also had a few with the original Paper Mario with like, I had one over the Haunted Forest. I had one over the whole murder mystery thing on the train. I'm basically a wuss, in case you haven't noticed. I want to say there was another one too, but I'm blanking. I would have to backtrack and think what else is in that game. Was Tubba Blubba in that game, or was it in Thousand Year Door? I think it was in No. Shit. I can't remember which one it was in. It's been a while since I've played either one, but whichever one had Tubba Blubba, I think it may have been the original one, because I seem to remember playing it on my sister's TV. She had the original one, because she was the one that had the N64. I had GameCube. She let me play N64. I smacked her hand anytime she tried to play GameCube. I'm such a nice sister, aren't I? But, yeah, this is when I was a teenager. Okay, cut me some slack, but, yeah, I'm not proud of that either. We've, like, since made amends. Now we're, like, best friends at this point, so, yeah, I'm not talking any smack about her, so, trying to think. This is gonna make me nuts now till I remember which fucking game it came from. It could just as easily have been either one, but I want to say, and it was in the original because she had the game guide, and I remember having to refer to it a couple times just to get through the thing at all, and she was all upset because she tried to beat the game even with the game guide and she couldn't do it. I came along, I could barely do it, but I did. I spent an entire summer, like the whole summer of, I forget if it was 2001 or 2002, but I basically spent that entire summer doing nothing but playing Paper Mario. Yeah, I am a special snowflake. And shortly after that, I found out there was the sequel for GameCube, but I didn't have a GameCube. So I was like, let's go to Toys R Us and buy a GameCube. Yeah, and this coincided with my other sister's birthday. And I come home on her birthday with a GameCube. And she's like, oh my gosh, you got me a GameCube! And I was like, yeah, except no, that's for me. Sorry, I'm a really bad sister. I didn't get you anything. She was like 3, okay? So, cut me slack. Maybe even 4, but she was little. Because I remember all hell broke loose that day later on, and yeah, it was bad. We don't need to go into what happened later that day. It was completely unrelated to the game stuff, or even me at all, but yeah, bad shit with my parents. We're not gonna go there. Anyways. Oh, what I do remember about that day, though, is my Nana came over and said it was the first time she ever saw me act like an adult, so I guess there's that, but yeah, we do not need to talk about childhood abuse, okay, yeah, so basically there was Paper Mario, which I was fucking obsessed with on every possible level. Like, it still is probably one of my favorite video games of all time. That's why I will follow it to any system they bring it to. Even if it is the only damn game I own for it, it is worth it in my eyes because I love it that much. There's Thousand Year Door, which it really ticks me off that not only have I not beaten it, but one of my save files on there, I somehow got so lost on there that everyone I tried to describe where I was at to and got lost in, nobody seems to know what the crap I'm talking about. So I think I need to like film my TV at some point, boot this up, because I don't know if I found like a game glitch or something and I fell into it or what. But it's like, I can't find any documentation of this level even existing. That's why I'm like, did I find like an Easter egg? Did I find a glitch? What the hell did I find here? Because I mean, I know there is a lava level, but it doesn't look like any of the videos I've compared it to. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know how the hell to get back out of it. I have gone around in circles on here for freaking forever and I can't get back out of it. And why does nobody else know of this thing? I'm like, should I be writing to Nintendo and asking them about this? Because, I don't know what the hell it is, and the fact that no one seems to know anything about it kind of freaks me the shit out. Because I'm like, what did I find? Did I find a wormhole? Yeah. Luckily, there's multi-save files on there, so I kind of just have that one sitting there, untouched, because I don't know what to do with it, because I can't get back out of it. And I play on, like, the other one. But, yeah, there's that. Yeah, I don't even know, but, the second time I tried to play it through, though, I don't know, apparently, unlike the first Paper Mario, there must be a lot more subplots and different, like, plot loopholes you can get to versus, not versus, but depending on which choices you take, who you talk to in the game, and whatnot. It seems like there's almost different subplots that you run into. Because things have happened on the second file that never occurred on the first one, and I haven't even gotten as far on the second one as I did on the first, and I'm like, okay, this is not helping my confusion any. Yeah. So I'm like, if I'm that confused on that one, I better not even open the other Paper Mario until I finally figure this one out, because it's probably even more complex. Yeah, I've made a point of not looking at spoiler videos of the third one because I haven't played it yet and I don't want it ruined for me before I even play it. But, yeah. It's just weird. I mean, I can't seem to get as far as I did the first time. I can't get to where the little, the thing is for the paper airplane or the boat. I forget which one. You have to go on top of a roof to get to it. It's been forever since I played that one, though. But yeah, you have to go up there to even get it, and I can't seem to make the jump, like, The first time playing through, I made it first try. Second file, trying to do it. Try and try and try and try. I can't do it. I got my brother in here. He can't do it. It's just like, what the hell? What even is going on? What is my life? Yeah, there's that. But, so the third one was for Wii, and now the fourth one was for 3DS, which I don't have a 3DS, but I'm gonna get a 2DS, hopefully. If I don't get it for my birthday, I'm probably just gonna buy one, because I want one really bad. My only reasoning for picking a 2DS over a 3DS, other than price, is the fact that I'm never in my life going to use the 3D function on it anyway, so it just seems pointless to me to get a thing with 3D functionality on it when I know damn well I'm never going to use it, and if I accidentally turn it on, it's going to give me a vertigo, and I don't want to deal with it. I get visually triggered vertigo really, really bad, to the point where I can't stand up, so... Yeah, this is why I didn't jump all over the 3DS wagon like everybody else did, even though the games for it look really cool, but I can't hang with 3D. It's why I didn't go see Wizard of Oz in 3D when they brought it to theaters back in September. Well, between that, it was the same week as my grandma dying, and there was no time to do it, but even if it hadn't been for that timing, I really don't do well with 3D. I think the only one ever I was able to sit through that I didn't get physically ill over in the theater was Alice in Wonderland. Not the Disney one, the other one, the Tim Burton one. And the only reason I was okay was I doped myself up on so much friggin' Dramamine beforehand, which sounds ridiculous, you're sitting still, but no, try and tell your brain that when you have visually triggered vertigo, yeah, you need Dramamine for it. Usually that doesn't work. I don't know why it worked that day, but it worked. And I was able to sit through it and enjoy it, but that is the only time I watched that movie in 3D. Every time I watch it since, I've watched it in just regular format. So, told you guys I'm a very boring, unexciting person. Yeah. I mean, even if things just move too fast in front of me half the time, they trigger vertigo for me, but yeah. This is why you don't let your wisdom tooth get infected, because that's what happened to me. The one over here on the bottom got super hellaciously infected for like a year, and I did nothing about it. Till apparently the infection went systemic, and apparently attacked my inner ear on this side, and now I have vertigo triggered on that side. I can always tell because there's always like a random flush of hot in this ear about 30 seconds before the wave of vertigo hits. Everybody's just like, oh, maybe you're just having ear infections. Except for the fact I've never had an ear infection in my entire life. But yeah, no, it's not ear infections. It's actual legit vertigo. And it's not fun. So, there's never pain with it. It's just a random flush of hot, and suddenly the room's spinning and I either feel like throwing up or I do throw up and I have to lay down and just, it's not fun. Yeah, so I'm like, if I can avoid it, I avoid it. So that's why I don't do 3D stuff. I just cannot hang with it. And that's why I generally can't sit through, like, action movies, because the things move too fast in it, and it triggers it for me. And it really sucks, because I didn't used to have that problem until then. And I used to love things that moved fast, were all swirly and trippy and cool, and now I oftentimes can't watch a lot of them. I'm lucky I can even sit through Yellow Submarine. I was really nervous going to the theater to see that a few years ago. I was like, oh god, the Sea of Holes thing, that's gonna trigger for me, isn't it? And then, luckily, it didn't. I lucked out. I was so nervous over that part, though. I mean, the rest of it, I figured I'd be okay. That and the bit where they get into the submarine and then there's the clips of, like, London, where it's going to, like, the ending bit of A Day in the Life, and it's just, like, showing random video clips really, really fast. I figured that might do it to me, because hell, I've even had that happen on a small screen before, but no, I seemingly was okay that day with it. I don't know how I lucked out that much. Maybe because of the Dramamine thing that day too, I don't know, because I had to take it, because I had to take Bard out to San Francisco to go see it, so maybe that was why I lucked out, but I'm very happy I did, because it was really awesome seeing that movie on the big screen. I loved it. Really makes me sad that they never bring help to the big screen. I would love to see that in the theater, more than like any other Beatle film, because that's my favorite. And they never do it. I thought, like, back in the early 2000s when they brought A Hard Day's Night to the theaters, that, well, cool, if they're doing it for this anniversary for A Hard Day's Night, then next year they're gonna do Help, right? And then they didn't. And I was like, well, that sucks. And they brought A Hard Day's Night back out again. So I thought, well, oh, hey, maybe this time. Nope. And they've done Yellow Submarine a couple times. They've done Magical Mystery Tour once, although I didn't go to that one because I couldn't justify spending over $20 on a 45-minute film. I'm sorry, I didn't even pay that for the DVD, so no thank you. I mean, I'm one of the rare people who actually really enjoys Magical Mystery Tour, but I cannot justify that much money for that short of a film. Especially because it's that much more money to get out to San Francisco to see these, so this is like getting up in the closer to $40 range now, and while yes, I agree it's probably a hell of an experience, it'd be better if they either brought it more local to where I wouldn't have to deal with that sort of transpo, or if they brought down the price of the tickets. Yeah, if it were like an $8 film for admission, I could handle it, but $20? God, I didn't pay that for Yellow Submarine. I think it was only like $14 for that one, and that was just because I saw it at night. If I'd seen it at the matinee, it would have been like $8. But I went with my cousin, and I had to go after she was off of work, so we had to go at night. But, yeah, that. And The Hard Day's Night, I don't know how much that one was, because Dad paid for it, because I was only like 14, so I don't know how much that was. It was in IMAX, so it was probably a lot, but that one's totally worth it because it's full length. Help would be worth it. It's full length. I'd watch that. I'll tell you what I wouldn't watch. I wouldn't watch Let It Be because I actually really dislike that. I don't view it as a movie. I view it as a documentary of them being bitchy at each other. And I hate that. It makes me want to cry. So I think I've watched Let It Be all the way through maybe once ever. Since that one time, I think I'll watch, like, the rooftop concert part. I'm fine with that part, but the studio parts, I'm just like, no, I'd rather not. Even the Beatles anthology, generally, I'll watch it up through about 67, somewhere around there. When it starts getting bitchy, I start turning it off. So, I mean, I own the DVD set, but I will admit I have never watched it 100% all the way through because of that. I've got the televised version on VHS still, because I taped it when it was on first time. Well, I got parts 1 and 2 from the first time. I got part 3 from the second time, because the first time it aired, it was on Thanksgiving, and apparently in the rush of the day, instead of setting the VCR for 9 to 11, we set it for 11 to 9. So right around the time it was ending is where it kicked on. Yeah, I am a fucking moron, but I was also about 10 years old, so can't fault me too hard. It was the first time I think I'd ever used the VCR to record something with no help, so yeah, whereas the first 2 parts, I think my mom set up to tape for me, but or maybe Dad did. I know somebody did, because I remember part 1 I fell asleep before it even started. Part 2 I stayed up for, but it was on back-to-back with The Sound of Music. Don't ask me why I remember stupid, useless shit! But, yeah, that, But part 3 was on Thanksgiving, and my aunt wouldn't let me watch it at her house because she's a hoity-toity bitch that couldn't be bothered with hairy hippies as far as she's concerned. That's what she referred to them as. And her daughter didn't help any in this argument, so I didn't get to watch it. They tried to put on stupid crap for me instead, like Little Yellow Taxi Cab, and it's like, yeah, fuck you, I may be 10, but I have better taste than that. But yeah, I came home, I was figuring, okay, well, we're home, I'm gonna watch it now. And then I found out it didn't tape. It got like the last 2 minutes of it. That. And I was also disappointed to find out that because there was only 2 new Beatles songs, see, I didn't know how many there were. So because they showed the Free as a Bird video right after part 1, they showed the Real Love video right after part 2, I figured, well, hey, there's gonna be another song that's right after part 3, I'll get the song, right? but there was no third song, so I didn't even get that. Sad face. Yeah, that was a letdown. Pretty much everything about part 3 was a letdown. Even the disc, I remember when it came out, I wasn't that impressed with part 3. I mean, there was a couple of good highlights on it, like Paul forgetting the words in Rocky Raccoon. I still laugh my ass off over that, but yeah, I liked it better when they all got along. So parts 1 and 2 I'm a bigger fan of, but I eventually got part 3 taped when they re-aired it the next year during the summer at some point. And I remember just sitting there and just being so disillusioned over all the fighting and stuff. I was just like, yeah, I don't really... I waited over a year for part 3 and this is what happens in part 3. I mean, I'd read the books, I'd seen other documentaries, it's not like I didn't know that this is what happened, but apparently seeing it that much more in depth and actually seeing footage of it really made it hit home for me, and yeah, to this day, I'm still not that wild about it. I mean, I love Abbey Road, don't get me wrong, I love Abbey Road, and I love the White Album. Never been that wild about Let It Be. There's a couple songs on it, like I Mean Mine, I love that. One After 909, but most of Let It Be I could, don't really, no. So I mean, given that Abbey Road is technically really the last one, because it was recorded the last, it may not have been released last, but in the order of recording on the timeline, it actually came after Let It Be. It was just a different order that they released in. Yeah, you would think that Abbey Road would be the one that I would hate, but no, I love Abbey Road. It was the first one on CD I ever owned, so yeah, I still have a special place for that. But Let It Be, not so much. It's the only Beatle album that I'm really kind of just meh about. I feel kind of guilty for that because everybody talks up Let It Be into this huge thing, and I'm like, yeah, am I a bad fan because I'm not that wild about that one album? I even like things like Beatles for Sale, which everybody tries to pretend didn't happen. I even like that one, but Let It Be, I don't know, Let It Be gets so much over airplay, and that's like the big song on it. And I'm just like, you know, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I wouldn't, like, refuse to sit through the album. I'll sit through it, but it's not my favorite. It's probably my least favorite, actually, but, we all have our own personal preferences and tastes and things, and happens to be my least favorite. But as far as favorite, I don't think I could pick one. I have the opposite problem there because, like, while I have that one least favorite, I think everything else kind of ties for favorite because I really love everything else they did. And it, like, varies with my moods of which era I like the most on any given day, so there's that. I don't know how I got into this Beatles rant, I don't know. I'm like, what brought this on? It's early. Although I've been talking for like an hour now, it's nearly 7 in the morning. Now there's probably people awake, so I don't need to be as quiet, that figures, but yeah, I got into a Beatles rant. That's not unlike me. Speaking of them, though, I was supposed to do something with this, by the way, but I kind of haven't gotten around to it, and I don't know when I will, although I do want to, but I just haven't done it yet, but, excuse me, I choked on my own spit. Wow, I should have been a blonde, but I got a message on Facebook a while back, a couple weeks ago, actually. Someone asked, hey, are you that girl that cosplayed as Ringo on YouTube? I had all but forgotten about that, but yes, I'm that girl. Why? And she was like, oh my gosh, those were like the funniest thing ever. Could you like do it again? Would you ever consider making more of them? Yes, I would, because I am an attention whore. Unfortunately, now my problem is I'm not quite sure what I'd wear as my Ringo costume, per se, because the jacket I used for those got destroyed in the old house when we got robbed, because the people who robbed us were assholes, and they took, like, my sister's and my mom's clothes, because they're bigger than me, and they apparently tried mine on, ripped them, and left them of the stuff that I hadn't gotten up here yet, because, Yeah, I kind of have two closets, a huge 7-drawer dresser, and under the bed stuff to store more clothes, and that's not even all my clothing. This is why I still had clothes in the old house that hadn't come up here yet. So I was like, well, when I figure out where I'm gonna store them, maybe if I get like another dresser or something, or if I get some of those like vacuum seal bag things that squish them down, maybe I can bring more up. Yeah, so some of my favorite jackets were still on my bedpost in the old house. One of them included my Ringo jacket, which that so bums me out, because normally I hate velvet, but that one was so trippy and hippie-ish, and it was like purple velvet with like hippie designs all over it. And my mom got it for me because she said, it looks like something Ringo would wear, and if Ringo would wear it, you love it, I'm sure. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So it was awesome. I made an exception on my I hate anything velvet rule for that because it was so cool. And they ruined it. You know what else they ruined? My Roger Daltrey jacket with the fringe. That thing was like a $200 fucking jacket, too. That pisses me off. And trying to find a replacement, I've still not found one. It was like tan suede leather with fringe all down the sleeves, and it was the coolest frigging thing, and I swapped it back and forth as being both my Roger Daltrey jacket and my Mike Nesmith jacket, because it wasn't super long fringe like Roger usually wore. I did see some pictures of him with shorter fringe. Fringe was about, you know, like that long. Kind of decent. I mean, it's long enough. I wouldn't have been opposed to longer, but they don't make them with longer anymore, so there's that. But, so I would wear that, and it'd either be my Roger jacket or it'd be my Nez jacket. Or if I was really feeling cool, I would wear my Peter Tork boots with it and be like, now it's Nez and Tork. Woohoo! It's just Monkey's Day all around here, throwing some Davy beads and curl my hair. There, now I've got stuff for all four of them. But, because I am a loser and I don't care. But, yeah, that. They totally and utterly destroyed that one. They didn't just rip that one, they decided to spill crap all over it and stain it too, just to add more insult to injury. They destroyed my grandpa's bomber jacket from World War II that I had. That one, honestly, I had forgotten that one was down there. If I'd had any clue that one was still down there, it would have been up here. I honestly didn't even know that one was under the others, because that would have been one of my first things up here if I'd had any clue. I am an idiot, I know, you don't need to tell me, but, yeah, basically I had about 8 jackets ruined that were on my bedpost, and my Ringo one was one of them. So now because my Ringo one was ruined, I'm not sure what I should wear to do more Ringo cosplay videos. I mean, I've got this sort of purple silk kind of kimono-y type style jacket that almost kind of looks like it wants to be a Sgt. Pepper jacket without the epaulettes and without the stripes across the front, but I'm not sure that it's really Ringo-y enough. I mean, it looks more like Liza Minnelli jacket. Like when she was going through her weird phase in like the mid-2000s, where she had that god-awful pink, like hot pink kimono jacket that she wore fucking everywhere, and she had in like green, pink, and purple, and orange. And every time she was seen in public, she was in one of the 4, and I was like, oh my god, can we just take those from her and give them a proper burial? They're terrible. They're terrible. I think Jim Caruso's mom either ended up with one of them or she somehow got an identical of one of them, because I saw a picture of her wearing one identical to the green one, so I think maybe Liza gave her the green one, I don't know. But, seriously, this thing looks more like one of those than it does like a Ringo jacket. I mean, the cool thing with it is it's reversible. It's purple on the outside and it's red lined on the inside, so I could flip it out inside out and have it be red, but it's not silky then. But I don't know. I mean, I did like one photo in that is like a Ringo cosplay thing on his birthday a year or 2 ago, and I took eyeliner, pencil, and eyeshadow, and I did like a beard and goatee with it. Except for one little detail. I had every intention of doing a video in that. But one little problem. The powder got up my nose instantly, And this is how I got a really hellaciously bad sinus infection that summer that didn't go away for about a month. So needless to say, I'm not too wild about the prospect of doing that again, and I'm sorry. I may be committed, but I'm not that committed, unless I can find another way of doing it that doesn't involve powder that'll get up my nose. Not happening. Yeah, so I'm like, well, if I don't know what to wear, how do I make it ringo-y? I mean, I've got my rings, but just rings alone doesn't make it ringo-y. Pull the hair back in a ponytail, but my hair is so long at this point that it's really not like Ringo's anymore. I mean, it'll still hang out this far in the back with a ponytail. And I don't feel like cutting my hair just for the sake of a video, although I've done weirder things. So there's that issue. But the main one is not knowing what the fuck I'm gonna wear. And is it gonna be a problem for not having the beardy thing? I mean, I didn't do a beard when I did the other Ringo videos, but I had my super cool Ringo jacket back then, and the sunglasses and the rings, and I thought it was enough. Now I'm second-guessing myself, so what's you guys' opinion on that? Because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, because there was several really good ideas that we brainstormed back and forth that I'd love to do. Most namely, one with the No-No song. Oh my gosh, It needs to happen. It needs to happen. The fact that I absolutely cannot sing in Ringo's register just makes it that much more funny, and that's the whole point of doing the Ringo ones, isn't to do it well, it's so badly done that it's hilarious, because I know that I'm bad at it. I can't sing low. I don't have a low register. The tone I'm talking in right now is about the lowest note I can hit, so yeah, I can't really do Ringo's voice. Sorry, I'm a girl, I can't do Ringo. I've tried for many years. If I'd had any idea that there were other people I could sing along with when I was a teenager, maybe I'd be a good singer, but I spent most of my teen years trying to train myself to sing like Ringo, and I've never been able to do it because my voice doesn't go that low, so I just always assumed I'm a really bad singer. And while I'm definitely not a good singer, I might call myself mediocre. That's better than bad, I guess, but when it comes to Ringo, yeah, I suck. I know I suck at it. But this person even admitted, no, the suckiness is what makes it funny. Go with it. So I was like, well, I suppose I could do that. And the more I thought about it, I was like, I could have a lot of fun making this, especially for the No-No song. I could have entirely too much fun with this. You guys don't even want to know the ideas I have for it, but, I hope they won't be construed as disrespectful to Ringo, though, is the problem. I mean, the No More Fan Mail video parody aside, and the Ringo Why Not videos aside, I'm sorry, that album sucked. You all have to admit it sucked, okay? I call him as I see him. No disrespect to Ringo, but I call him as I see him. But I still, even despite everything, even despite his bitchery, I still love that crotchety old man, I have to admit, and I still have a lot of respect for him. Despite everything, even though at this point he's basically a parody of himself and kind of just has turned into a bitchy old man, I still have a lot of respect for him. Especially since he, found that photo of the people in the car and went out of his way to track down each person from that photo and recreated the photo. I don't know, I guess as a photographer, I really have a lot of respect for that. That is really cool. Really cool. And just, as a person, you can't take it away from him. The man was a Beatle. Sure, he may have been the luckiest son of a bitch on the planet to get there, but it still is what it is. And he was still one of them, and he still was part of what made them what they were, so you can't take that away from the guy. So basically, the way I see it, anything pre-2008, pre the whole No More Fan Mail freak-out thing and his, meltdown with fans ongoing after that, yeah, I don't view that guy as the same guy that was in the Beatles. I don't view it as the same guy that did the solo albums after the Beatles. It's almost like a different entity over here than this guy over here. So it's like, I mean no disrespect really to him. It's the new bitchier guy that I'm poking fun at. Not Beatle Ringo, not solo Beatles Ringo aside from the past couple of years. It just, I'm not trying to hate on him. Okay, just know that. Just know that. I'm intending no actual disrespect. I do it all out of love. I do it just because I actually am a fan. If you guys noticed, in the parody videos I did before where I was dressed up like him, how much could I possibly hate the guy? I had a poster of him on the wall like a foot away from me in that video. I had a framed photo of him in the background behind me. Come on, you guys should have known I am a Ringo fan. I am not a hater, okay? I don't actually hate the guy. I wouldn't have even bothered with the time of day if I actually hated Ringo, okay? So just know that. And if I do more Ringo videos, it's not because I hate him, it's actually because I love the guy. And it's a lot of fun. And he does have a good sense of humor, you have to admit, and I think he'd get a kick out of stuff like that. So, well, maybe not the videos, like, ridiculing the Why Not album, maybe not those, but the other ones, I could see him having a chuckle over, maybe. Or alternately, he'd get irrationally pissed off, I'm not sure, but I'd prefer to think maybe he'd at least crack a smile, if nothing else. Especially with my ideas for the No-No song, maybe he could, like, adopt them into his stage act. Like, instead of just miming it, he'd, like, actually bring a bottle out and mime it with the bottle, but that's just one of them. And the person also wanted to see, like, reenactments from Magic Christian of the Silent Scream Tiny Face thing, which, yeah, I could have entirely too much fun with that. If I can get my hands on a recorder, not a thing you record things with, but like a flute, like, type thing, there's definitely another part of the Magic Christian I would have entirely too much fun doing a reenactment of. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. I'd have to watch it again, but there was, like, several ideas I had just from that one. I had an idea of doing a video in nothing but Speak from Caveman, which anyone who hasn't seen it will probably just sit there going, what the fuck is this? But those who've seen it might actually get it. And yeah, I know, it's stupid, and it will be a stupid video if I do it, but that's the whole point. It's stupid, but it's so stupid, it's funny. So, there's that one. I had, well, there was also talk of me doing a Manic Yellow Submarine, because you know how he, like, prances around the stage and flashes peace signs, all practically skipping around the stage, and he does his, "What's my name? Ringo! What's my name? Ringo!" thing. Yeah, that. That needs to be incorporated into the same video as my Manic Yellow Submarine, because ever since I was a little kid and saw my first Ringo concert video, where he does both these things in it, I am kind of incapable of listening to the song Yellow Submarine without kind of skipping and prancing around the room, flashing peace signs the entire damn song, and at some point breaking out into the "What's my name?" thing. I am not an easy person to live with, I know. I am a fucking spaz. I am fully aware of that. But, yeah, that may be a thing. Well, now Christmas is come and gone, so one of my video ideas is gonna have to wait till at least next year, because it'd be kind of weird to post it, like, randomly after Christmas when it'd be a Christmas one. Yeah, well, actually I had 3. Not all of them were Ringo, but I wanted to do one in the Ringo costume but add a Santa hat, and just do, basically, song cover of I Want to Be Santa Claus, just because it's a Ringo one, and more people want to see more Ringo videos, so that'd be a quick way of doing that. I wanted to also do Wonderful Christmas Time, well, kind of, sort of dressed up as Paul. I've never really mastered dressing up as Paul, so, As best I can, anyway. Yeah, usually my attempts at that are epic fail, and nobody can tell what the hell I'm even supposed to be. My driving rain video, I was trying to go for modern Paul, like something he'd wear on the stage, but I think I fell short of the mark, like really short of the mark. So, yeah, I tried. Can't fault me for trying. But, wanted to do that one, and then possibly. This one was a big if, but if I can pull it off, it'd probably be the best one of the three. Just an acoustic version. Well, maybe not true acoustic, because I might use my electric guitar for it, but just one of me playing and singing with Happy Christmas War is Over in my John outfit, which a lot of people have said, yeah, you should probably just stick with dressing as John, because you actually do look a little like him around the edges. You can pull that one off, you can't do the others, but you can kind of do John. So, yeah, I'm not gonna just stick with John, because I'd get bored with that, and yeah, that's a lot of pressure, but I can do it once in a while, and I think it'd be kind of cool to do it for that one. I've never quite managed to smooth out the kinks in that one, though I have to work more at it. It's been a while anyway, but if I can smooth it out, maybe I'll do that one next year or something. Just because I think it'd be fun if I can pull it off. Especially if I can do it and sing it at the same time, because usually I can't play guitar and sing. It throws me off. It's too much coordination that I seem to be incapable of possessing all at once, but I might be able to do it because it's like chords. I might be able to do it. Keep looking at my guitar as if it's going to magically give me the answer of how to do this, but yeah. So that might be a thing. I feel like there's at least one more that we brainstormed back and forth, but I was really proud of the potential of doing that one if it worked, but yeah, I can't think of what the other one was now, but if there's suggestions, I could take them into consideration, see what I can do with them. Other than that, I don't know. It's still hard because I'm trying to figure out how exactly to do any sort of singing videos since my grandpa moved in, because my iPod dock apparently decided to crap out on me, which really sucks because it's a Bose and it's too expensive for me to justify replacing if I don't know for positive if it's the actual console itself or if it's something in the wiring, or who even knows. I mean, I could try buying a new wire, I could try buying a new battery pack, but it just, I don't know, I don't want to waste money if something's wrong that isn't wrong. But I plug my iPod into it, it'll still charge, but no sound whatsoever comes from the speakers. At least there used to be, if it was plugged in and on, you could hear airflow through it. Now there is nothing. And it used to, like, before it totally crapped out, it got temperamental to where if I screwed around with it, smacked it around a little, jiggled it, I could make it work, but now nothing I do makes it work. I unplug it, replug it in, every part of the wiring I've tried reconnecting to see if something was loose. Nothing. Which, again, is really a shame, because that was like my big birthday present a few years ago, and it was expensive. And I'm kind of amazed my dad bought it for me, because usually he doesn't spend that much on my birthday. But I think he spent more on my iPod last year, though, which I'm kind of amazed he did that too. He's now going along with the whole mantra of the bigger kids get bigger presents. So I'm like, well, I'm cool with that because I'm the oldest one. So the caveat is, if you move out, then you get tapped out at like 100 or 200, and that's it. My iPod was like 400, so gee, I don't know. I'm not in a big rush to move out. But no, that's not why. But it helps, but no, that is not at all why. But yeah, I don't know for sure if I don't know if there's a way to fix the one I already have. That would be ideal if there is, but I don't even know where you would take it to have it looked at and see what's wrong with it. That's the problem. And I really don't want to have to throw down another few $100s on an iPod dock for something that only works with my really old school one. Because I have two iPod Touches. I have a 5th generation and a 2nd generation. Neither one of those work with that dock. The only iPod I own that works with it is my really old school, I forget what generation it is, but it was the first generation that had the video screen in color on it. So that far back, that's the only thing I have that works on it. So that's a lot of money to throw at something that only one iPod is going to work with. Especially because that iPod's like on its last leg, and I don't know. I don't know. I've loaded up my newer iPod with so many freaking apps that I can't get all my music from my old iPod onto it now, because I used up all the damn space for that. Like, I'm not even joking, I used up 30 gigs just on apps. I have about 40 gigs of music on the other, at least, actually closer to 50. So I'm like, okay, I got the 64 gig because it's the same size as my other one. I thought I could move everything over onto it. But that was before I knew that you could do apps on the iPod Touch. Yeah, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole. And then on top of the apps, I have all my bazillion pictures I've taken with it and videos and things that are still on there, and just... Yeah, I'm like, should I just have this be the designated app iPod and then get another classic iPod to put all the music on, maybe? I don't know. First world problems for the win. Yeah, I know, there's children starving in third world countries, and I'm worried about, should I buy a second iPod? Yeah, I'm an asshole, I know. But I'm just like, it'd be lovely to be able to use my iPod dock again. But because it doesn't work, I alternately have a speaker system for my laptop. One minor problem. The bass comes out of a speaker that goes on the floor. It's shaped like a cone, and it sits on the floor. The speaker is in the bottom of that bass. And because of that, the bass goes right through the floorboards into downstairs, and even if I have music on very quietly in here, that bass apparently still pierces through the floor, and you hear it louder downstairs than you do in here, and it seems like I must have music absolutely blasting in here. My sister will come in, she'll be like, oh my god, turn your music down? It's not even loud! Why does it sound that loud downstairs? I'm like, I don't know! And I thought when I got my shelving unit, maybe I could stick the speaker onto one of those shelves, but the shelves are like this much too narrow to squeeze it into one of them. Yeah, so that doesn't work, so I'm trying to figure out where else I could put it where it's not on the floor, and trying to figure out if there's a way to prop it on its side so it's not aimed at the floor, so it's aimed at the center of the room instead. But the problem is that all the wires are in part of the side of it, and if you jimmy them loose, it makes the most god-awful buzzing noise. I don't even want to think about it. It, like, invokes instant panic attacks. Yeah, let's not go there. But, yeah. And it's a cone, so it won't stay still if you put it on its side. It rolls. So what good does that do you? It's gonna eventually knock out the wires, and this is why it's on the floor. This is why the speaker's pointed to the floor. I am now suddenly beginning to understand why the speaker system was so fucking cheap for how good the quality of the sound is, but the actual practicality of the usage. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the best possible way to handle it. Because once I figure that out, I may be able to do some singing videos, because, truth be told, my grandpa's practically deaf. Even if I sing at the top of my lungs with my door shut, he probably, most likely, will not hear me. He might, but all likelihood, if he does, he'll probably only hear certain notes and probably not very loudly. And, like, most hours of the day. He has wireless headphones on, hooked to the TV. Even if he's not watching the TV, he has them on, which makes talking to him that much harder. So, with that in mind, I have since figured out, hey, I didn't have to give up music in here after all, because he can't fucking hear it. Except for the fact of the bass thing, and even though he can't hear it, everyone else in the house will freak out and yell at me because, oh my god, you're gonna disturb Grandpa! Even though he can't hear shit, is the funny thing. I have never once heard him complain about it, at all. Once. And it's like, I know you guys are freaking, but look at him. He's on the other side of the house, and he's not even the tiniest bit flinching or reacting like he's hearing anything. He's not even looking in this direction. So, with that in mind, just to stop the bitchery at me from everyone else, it'd be nice to figure out a way to get it off the floor and onto something else where it's not aimed at the floor. Because I figure even if it's on, like, my desk, if the base is facing downward like it is when you just prop it up that way, the sound waves are still going to be aimed down instead of out. And if I could just figure out a way to prop it and hold it still, despite it being cone-shaped, that would be ideal for this. So once I figure that out, the singing videos may resume. They kind of stopped before because the iPod dock died, and I was like, well, that sucks. And because with my old computer, even trying to play through the speakers and my iPod hooked to the computer, my computer basically would have hiccups and it'd play about 30 seconds and then stop for like a second randomly in the middle of it and then keep going, and that pisses me off, and I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. So that kind of was why those stopped in reality, even though I had the other speakers for the computer. But yeah, without a good working computer, that doesn't help me much. This one could handle it, so I mean, if push comes to shove, I can do that, but it would really just be more ideal if I could get my iPod dock working, or replace it or something, I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know. It seems like I have a lot of other things that would be money better well spent on than that, but I may eventually get pissed off enough and just be like, fuck it, buying one, done, and that'll be that. I don't know. So, that's that, and I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to talk about in this video? Because I've been talking at you for like an hour and a half again, and probably none of you have hung around this long. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, so like I said, I want to eventually see if I can pull off doing daily videos. I don't think it'll be overnight that they become daily. I'm gonna try my best, but yeah, I see myself failing at this already. I got 2 in a row before preceding this one, I think. And then there were several days with nothing. So, I mean, I'll try my best. It probably won't actually be daily, but in my head, that'll be the goal, will be daily. But if I fail, don't be surprised. So, yeah, I will talk at you hopefully tomorrow. And if not, I will talk at you in the new year, because tomorrow's the last day of 2013, so talk at you soon. Bye.